Meanwhile, the trial opening in the Trump-Russia case of Hillary Clinton's campaign lawyer, Michael Sussmann. Special Counsel John Durham's 3-year probe into the FBI and Robert Mueller's investigation of former President Trump's 2016 presidential campaign is reaching a critical moment.
Our next guest weighing in on the trial, saying if Sussmann, one of Hillary Clinton's top campaign lawyers, is convicted, it will further confirm that Trump is a crime victim. President of Judicial Watch, Tom Fitton, joins us now. Tom, right out of the gate, what should we be watching? What should we be looking for as this trial unfolds?
Further details of the conspiracy, or as Durham's team has called it, the joint venture to launder this disinformation, as the left likes to say, into the FBI, to get the FBI to intervene in an unprecedented fashion in targeting Trump with an investigation to harass him just shortly before the election was supposed to take place.
Okay, so let's say the evidence comes out here that it turns out Sussmann indeed was working for Hillary Clinton, and they knew very well, as more information comes out, what they were doing, that there was no basis in fact for the bulk of what they were alleging. You're saying the conclusion would be then this would lead to a conviction, and that former President Trump would be the victim of a crime. And what would be the significance of that?
Well, it would be vindication, at least politically and in the public sphere, for his concerns that he was unfairly and improperly targeted by the Obama administration and later the deep state that was controlling the Justice Department, even though he nominally was president. This is about targeting Trump. Durham's issue is he's making the FBI seem to be the victim here, the FBI being misused and abused by this campaign lawyer for Hillary Clinton, who went in there and allegedly lied to the top FBI lawyer about the reason he was there and who he was representing. Now, the argument they're going to push back with, and I can't say it may not be persuasive, because I'm frankly skeptical of the FBI's whole behavior here, is that the FBI knew exactly what was going on. They knew he was a Democratic lawyer, and that technically he really wasn't there for Hillary Clinton's campaign. He was there as a citizen who wanted to share information with the FBI, and his lawyer said the campaign, and this is something that may not be persuasive to most sensible people, that the Clinton campaign may have actually not wanted him to go visit the FBI to get the FBI to investigate Trump. So that's their argument, and I guess they're going to stick with it during the trial.
Yeah, Tom, according to new information out of the trial, both lawyers for Durham and Sussmann are clashing over the trial being about privilege, with Durham's prosecutor referring to the Clinton campaign's assertions of attorney-client privilege over key information. Is this about privilege?
The argument, the sarcastic argument the government's making, the prosecutors are making, is that, yeah, this lawyer thinks he's privileged and he can get away with lying to the FBI that no other citizen will be able to get away with. The other argument, and I think that's interesting in light of all the fights we're having about who's hiding documents from whom with the January 6th committee and other things, is that Hillary Clinton's campaign, the Democratic National Committee and Fusion GPS, who was one of the spy operations running, working for the DNC and Hillary Clinton's campaign, and of course the law firm, were trying to keep documents away from Durham, citing privilege about what this operation, this joint venture, this conspiracy was about. Now, the court ordered some of those documents be turned over, but on the other hand, the court suggested that the documents can be used in this trial. So there are two issues here. Whether this Sussmann is convicted over the crime of lying to the FBI, and what information arises from this whole trial process that sheds further light and educates the public about what went on here. And, frankly, the more we learn, the more questions I have about why Durham wasn't more aggressive in charging others involved in this conspiracy to defraud the United States government.
Such as whom? Who else do you have in mind? And also, before we go, I wanted to get your thoughts. If I'm reading you right, you have suspicions about the FBI itself.
Yeah, concurrently, the FBI was working with Christopher Steele, paying him And then they shut the money down. And then they went and talked to him, knowing he was working on the Clinton campaign, and shared the information they had about targeting Trump. Of course, that leaked out almost immediately. So those folks should be asked questions in a serious way by Durham about what they were doing, cooperating with the political operation of the candidate to try to get the opponent of President Obama. Remember, President Obama had a direct interest in this. He involved himself in this campaign in the way an incumbent hadn't involved himself in a campaign in 100 years.
Yeah.
And this was all hands on deck targeting Trump. So I don't know who would be technically charged, but I know the circus, or at least the circle of individuals who ought to be questioned before a grand jury, and that ranges from Hillary Clinton, her top officials, to senior level officials of the Obama administration, and later the Trump administration.
All right. Thank you for the well thought out responses, Tom. We appreciate it, and we look forward to this trial as it unfolds. Talking to you again. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.